Okay, this is a video for 1330, section 3.1 and 3.2. I am going to be covering how to add and subtract, multiply matrices. There is no division for matrix. Now, for addition, you have to have the same size matrix and you add term by term. So, now, and this may seem, this is kind of short and short and quick, but addition is really, really simple because you have to do it term by term, okay? For addition of matrices, okay, I am trying to see why I am not getting, there's my button. All right. They have moved my commands around in the latest version. All right, so for example number 1, you're going to set things equal term by term. So if you're going to set the first term equal to the top term, and that's what I mean by term. So they have to be in the same position in each matrix, and that's how you're going to set them equal. So x minus y equals the 0. The w equals the 9. So each one of these has to equal the same position that it is in matrix A that it is in matrix B. And then you're going to solve each of those equations like you would, because they're linear, like you would a normal equation. Okay? So, all right. So then, when we get down to example number 2, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply the 6 to every term of the matrix, and we're going to multiply the 2 to every term of the matrix. We're going to leave the right side alone. Then we're going to add the two matrices together, term by term. Okay? And so that means that we get 6x plus 4x, which is 10x. Then we're going to get 6y minus 2y, which is 4y. Then we're going to get 6y plus 6y, which is 12y. 6z minus 8z, which is minus 2. Then we set each of those equations equal to the right side, and then we solve. Okay? Addition and subtraction, you do term by term. Now, for the application questions, all they're asking you to do is to set those into matrices for part A. For part B, they're asking you to add those two matrices. Again, term by term. So 70 plus 256 is 326. You get the idea. For part C, it's asking you to subtract. So that's 256 minus 70 is 186. You do it term by term, 208 minus 78. I find it easier to just do it in your calculator term by term. So number 4 is just asking you to put this into a matrix. And so what I do is I label each row and column, and then I put that into reading the sentences, put it into a matrix. And so that concludes 3.1. Now, for 3.2, we're multiplying matrices. Now, this right here, okay, I'm sick of it jumping sizes when I try to edit it. So, what you need to know is this right here. This tells you how to put it into your calculator. This is the important thing because everything you do will be done on your calculator. Okay? Now, if it's a small matrix like example number 1 or example number 2, then you need to be able to do them by hand, but most of them were going to be big. Okay? So, and that's why I've worked out a couple by hand, just so that you can see how to do it. One of the things you need to realize is that this sorry, I am trying to get really familiar with this new setup, is that this number right here and this number right there have to be the same in order to multiply. If they are not, you cannot multiply. Okay? All right. Now, this one I've gone step by step. On number 3, I've gone step by step on how to multiply. So, the first one I'm going to do entering in to multiply is number 4. Okay? And then the rest of them, what I've done is I've already got the data in the calculator so that I can show you how to enter. So number 4, I'm going to enter in part of the matrix into the calculator. Then 5 and the rest I'm going to do just on the calculator, not using the notes. Okay? So now I'm going to jump over to the calculator app, and I'm going to show you how to enter 4 and then 5 in them. I'm going to show you the rest on how to do on the calculator. So let's go into, let's not freak out and scroll down the page. It just all of a sudden just switched. All right. So to enter a matrix into your calculator, so your calculator is going to look like this. You're going to go to Second, Matrix, over to Edit, hit the matrix you want to edit. Then you have to enter the size of the matrix. So we're going to enter, where in the notes it says matrix A, and it's a 2 by 2. Okay? All right. And then you're going to enter your data. So it's going to be 1. Now, the next element is a -1. You're going to hit the negative in parentheses key, -1, enter, 1, enter, -1, enter. Then you're going to do second, quit. Now, to multiply two matrices, you're going to have to go back into second matrix, cancel, second matrix. You want to multiply A times second matrix B. Enter. And your matrix answer is 0, 0, is the 0 matrix. Okay? Now, I have already entered C and D. So when you do your test, you want to tell me which matrix you entered it in as. So I'm telling you that I put that matrix in as C and that matrix in as D. Notice that written above the matrix, I have the size. So second matrix C, that's what I have. Now, my calculator is telling me that those are those fractions. Okay, so mode. I want decimal. Done. So let's say if I do second entry, now it's giving it to me as decimals. Okay? Because I had it on auto, it was giving it to me as fractions. Okay? So I want to do C times second matrix D. Okay, now notice that's the answer from the notes. All right? So now let's go down. Now, if I put in the price as a vertical matrix, I get a 4 by 1. And I cannot multiply that by a 4 by 3 because remember, those two inner numbers have to be the same. So I need to rotate that to a 1 by 4, which is how I have entered second matrix E is a 1 by 4, and I need to multiply that by second matrix F, and what I get is my answer that I have there. Again, now I'm going to tell y'all this, and I hope I've said this before, and I may not have. You have to enter your answer. You have to give me your answer. Now, this answer says that all your numbers are in thousands. New York sells in thousands during the first quarter. So that means that when I get my answers, I have to multiply, I have to give everything in thousands. So I have to add 1,000 to each one of these answers to get the correct answer. So when you enter your answer in WebAssign, you have to add 1,000 to your answer or it will count it wrong. Okay? Now, also, you need to give your answer in a complete sentence. On your test, I will give you a bonus point for every time you give your answer as a complete sentence. So please email me if you have any questions.